This is going to be my third attempt at trying to complete this bloody game. I love it, but I never completed it on my Xbox 360, and fortunately they've redone it on this, and I play it black and white because I'm a big fan of black and white movies, even though it does make finding some of the clues a little bit harder. I actually really enjoy this game. I being a huge fan of classic film.
Hey, I know you.
No, you don't.
You looking for someone? Do you recommend the specialness?
You know Frank Morgan?
Sure. Frank's your regular. He's a loner in the back.
God damn it all, I asked them to hold the mayo.
That cherry pie was delish.
Frank Morgan?
Who's asking?
Cole Phelps, LAPD. I understand you're a friend of Adrian Black.
Yeah, I know him.
Are you aware that he's missing?
It's funny,
No,
this
I
game,
hadn't heard
when
that.
I had the original,
Tough.
I didn't have a very good internet at that time, and I didn't download all the patches.
We found Black's car, abandoned in a freight
And,
depot, covered in blood. You know anything about that, Morgan?
Hell no. I'm sorry to hear that. I like Adrian. He's a good boss.
Please, don't tell me you actually believe this jerk-off,
And
Phelps.
he used to glitch like crazy.
You're lying, Morgan. You were there.
And you're talking out your ass, detective. How about you prove I was out at that rail yard?
If I remember... receipt.
You were there, Morgan. We found a receipt in the trunk of the car. It has your name on it. We can call the slaughter yard and nail you on it.
All right already. That fool Adrian's fallen for some dame in Seattle. He wanted me to make it look like he'd been attacked.
Where exactly is Black holed up?
No idea.
When it switches to action,
I think he took
I'll
off for
go
Seattle.
into why the title seems a bit weird. Right. I think doubt.
I'm tired of your shtick, Morgan. Spill it! Or we take you out in the alley and we knock it out of you.
He's holed up at my place. He's waiting for some money to come through before he blows town.
An address?
It's an apartment house at the corner of Temple and Figueroa. Apartment number 2.
I think that's all. Thanks for your help, Morgan. We appreciate it.
Hey, I'm just glad I could help. I love cops.
If
Cuff
you
him,
screw
let him
this one
go.
up, you have
It's
to
up to you,
follow him in
Phelps.
his
No
car.
way I'm writing
and
this
it is
idiot
a
up.
fucking bitch. Because
I just
one of the
don't know
problems
how to
with
dance to
the cars at this time is there's no anti-lock brakes. If you're going really fast, you hit the brakes, the car goes all over the road.
You got Morgan's
Because
address?
it's using
Let's
realistic
get over to his apartment.
physics for the time, you know, because American cars at that time were all made of a lot of metal. They didn't have seat belts. It's just like pretty much
You can drive.
a nightmare.
And
to
where
drive.
exactly are we going?
Anyway, I'm trying. I've got to get round to.
KGPL calling car 11K. 11 King, come in.
Oh yes,
11K, go ahead.
the YouTuber Tonkasaw.
Down in the abandoned Lincoln.
Loads and loads of bullshit has suddenly come out accusing me of being a doxer, even though I didn't do any form
Roger,
of
KGPL.
doxing.
I'm the
I
realest guy in,
saw a
Phelps.
picture that on Twitter of it was from Destiny, who I follow on YouTube because he's very good at debates. Complete polar opposite to the whole Kumite thing, even though he has appeared on that. And I took my hat off to him. You know, he held
Let's
his
check the
own
place out.
for like nearly 8 hours against, you know, the not very bright crowd.
Apartment 2.
And so I follow him on Twitter because, you know, he says some pretty clever things. Clever bloke. It's not a high IQ. It's just that he is. I think he's trained in over the years in debating. I think it's also to do with, you know,
help you gentlemen?
Being a gamer.
LAPD detectives, Mr. Black. You're under arrest.
Look, I'm really sorry about this. I never tried to hurt anyone. I just needed to get away from L.A. I won't put up a struggle. Just let me get my things.
Knew it! Phelps, go after him. I'll try and head him off in the car. Remember, the gun is the last resort.
There's no point running, Adrian.
Where'd he go? Oh, shit.
Mr. Black, get back here right now.
Stop right there, Adrian.
It's over, Adrian. Why not just come clean with her, Black? Why the melodrama?
I thought it would be easier.
No, it just got a whole lot harder. Adrian Black, you're under arrest for conspiracy and fraud. We'll see what the DA has to say about wasting police resources on a wild goose chase like this.
You're gonna lose your wife, lose your job, and probably end up in the big house. I hope she was worth it, Adrian.
Seems a bit mean, but, you know.
That turned out to be quite some
Anyway,
case, huh?
so
Adrian, what an idiot.
I followed
You got an arrest
Destiny.
and a clearance in your first case.
There was a
fine
picture
style,
up.
too.
He claimed
Well
it was
done, Detective.
Tonka
Efficient
saw.
investigation
And
technique.
I
good
don't
public
instantly
presence. You keep
go,
that up and
you know,
learn from
oh, it
Bukowski
must be
here.
true.
You can go a long way in
I'm
this
sceptical by nature. So I decided, well, you know, I'll have a look. Someone put a link underneath it to an interview. And then I went on that, and it had the same picture. And then I went on YouTube, put in the name, and then that had a series of what looked like sort of real low-grade wrestling groups. The sort of, you know, just one step above backyard wrestling, and not really very impressive. You know, a lot of it looked really sort of awkward and all over the place. And then there was one video that was sort of like a shoot video.
Okay, we're gonna keep this short. I'm already late for
And,
the DA. First up, Phelps, Bukowski.
the bloke was
We got a report
talking,
of a brand
and it was
new
obviously
Packard
Tonka.
abandoned in an empty lot off 2nd Street
And,
between
you know,
Alden
the
and
accent
Grant.
was exactly
PR
the
is on
same.
Oswald Jacobs, says
Even
vehicle was dumped
the
in his backyard.
mannerisms,
There's a patrolman on
you know,
site.
people
Get down there,
have
see
with
what
their
you can
voice.
turn
Like
up.
I have a
Any
tendency to
questions?
sound a
Good,
bit
get
nasal
going.
because I've broken my nose a couple of times. Yeah, mostly
Better go
car
earn our
accidents.
pathetic wages.
But, oh, I forgot what I'm doing.
Rimsky, O'Halloran. Intelligence has information on a stolen car racket.
20X.
An abandoned vehicle.
Yeah, so
Sounds like there's more to it than that.
I checked this.
Nobody dumps
and
a
I
shiny new
looked
Packard unless they borrowed it without asking.
all the matches,
say.
and they were pretty terrible. And I was just
Very funny.
absolutely amazed at the gall of Tonka shouting and screaming, because he'd done it to me more than once, yelling at me about you know, all sorts of shit. And he's usually very
You hear about Adrian?
it's all sort of attacks on people's appearance all the time.
Women
You're too
generally show
fat,
more
you're too goofy,
What are you
you're
talking
too old,
about?
you're too
Adrian
this, you're
dumped on
too
you.
that,
He
you're
was
too
humping the secretary.
short.
Margaret should show
And I
some
watched
pride.
these
Pride comes
videos,
before a fall.
and
Bukowski.
he's a short, skinny bloke, really skinny, you know, almost sort of like he's got a testosterone deficiency skinny. no muscle tone, nothing. And I was quite shocked
Phelps,
at the
Cars down the alleyway, detective.
because when he's angry, he sends pictures and gifs to you
We got
on
a call
Twitter
about an abandoned vehicle.
of
Yes, sir.
Brock
The car has
Lesnar.
flags.
And I'm
Might
like,
be some
you
kind of
couldn't get
diplomatic
two
vehicle?
people more
Has anyone touched
unlike.
this vehicle since you arrived?
No.
You know,
and that Jacobs bird over there
Brock
was on station
Lesnar's
before I
wife's
got
got
here.
bigger muscles
We'll
than
talk with him in a
Tonka.
moment. Give us some time to look the place over.
And so,
Sure, take your time.
through the
He's a sore-headed
day,
old son of a bitch anyway.
people were. Well, actually, I I was surprised how many people weren't looking on Reddit, because Reddit was a lot worse than what was going on
We'll have to use the
on
registration
Twitter.
to trace the
They
owner.
were really taking the piss because, you know, for ages and ages, Tonka's been a bully. He's been basically bragging about how he'd kill people and beat the shit out of them. One of the things that he would go on and on
Taking
about
the flag as a
was
souvenir can't have any street value.
he want to stick his hand in your face and fist fuck your face. Like, you know, and you look at the pictures and
It's
the
owned by
video
the
of
Argentinian
him,
embassy.
and he looks like he'd sort of run out of breath running up a flight of stairs, let alone actually fighting someone. I'm not a massive bloke. I'm 6'1.5", but I could fucking destroy him. You know, it's amazing. You know, the sheer I'm indestructible, I want to kill people type
Stealing the
stuff.
wheels is for amateurs. Car ring would have stripped it in a warehouse.
But there was all that, which I found hilariously funny. And then through the day, there were more and more ridiculous accusations. One of them was, I laughed because I've heard it so many times before from Brett Keane. And it's the argument that you're attacking his family. And I'm like, well, no, you're not, because Tonka's said loads of times he hasn't got a family. You know, so I'm like, you couldn't sort of make it up what the sort of garbage it was coming out through the day.
I don't think this is going to help us.
I think this is a baseball field. Yeah, that's a crude baseball triangle. Oh. Aha.
Doesn't give me anything to go on.
Oh, no. So there was all of that, and then people were sort of making false accusations that somehow me reading someone's tweet and having a big laugh about it was doxing, and it wasn't doxing because Tonka's name was actually on his IMDb.
Combination wrench.
And I was
Must
like,
have used
well,
it
hang
to
on a
remove the
minute.
wheel lugs.
You put your name out attached to your own internet show. I'm like, you know, how is that any fault other than yourself? But my theory is that it's one of Styxhammer's fans, because less than a week ago they were putting out videos, and I said at the time to people that it was really not on. They put up videos, well, it was a video stream making an accusation of paedophilia and I think it was transsexual behaviour or something like that, transvesticism. And they were yelling and screaming.
Phelps, badge
And then
1247.
they finally got him on the show, Styxhammer.
We
And
run
I'm
the name
not
Dewey
a-
Brothers.
I-
Possibly a dealership or car
I
mechanics workshop.
dislike Styxhammer's politics completely. I'm opposite to fascist.
Got it.
I'm a utopian at heart. I want to see everyone raised up at the same time. It's also the reason why I'm an egalitarian. But there was this whole... actually, well, let's just check a little clues. Yeah. Right. Yeah, so there was all of this real nastiness, and they left the name, the title of the stream up on Tonka's channel, and I was like, you know, that's a little bit much, because anyone who comes across that in future, they're not going to watch the whole bloody video. They're going to scan, you know, well, they'll see the title and they'll assume things about someone that just isn't true, you know. And like I said, I'm not a fan of Stickshammer, but you can't go around accusing someone of something and then leaving that accusation up. So my theory is it's someone
be the 50th abandoned
on the
vehicle call we've
right-wing
caught this year.
side
One more,
who
and I'm gonna
did
go
the
crazy.
docs and then
Not your
posted it
favorite
up
cases?
on
You kidding me? This is
IMDb.
barely even police work.
And
All the bad guys in this city, we get lumped
part
with
of
the
the
ones who can't
reason
even be
why
bothered to keep what they steal.
I sort of have that suspicion is that everyone on the opposite side, you know, like Pascal LaRue, he's very vocal, but he hasn't had any interest in Tonka for a long time. I only had a passing interest when I sort of I can't even remember where it was. I think it was on Twitter. Someone had posted this accusation, and I thought, you know, it's pretty strong. You know, it's that, don't attack a person on their arguments, attack them on something else thing that I'm really dead against anyway. You know, that I don't believe in attacking someone's sex life as some form of ego trip. It's funny because Tonka does that all the time. He brings up people's sex lives. He brags about being massively rich. So the whole thing basically led to a cunt stream that, you know, I didn't want to go on it because I've been dogpiled too many times, and it doesn't change anything. All it does is have Tonka screaming and shouting, and then he just screams and shouts till people just
LAPD,
leave.
Mac. We'd like to speak with the owner.
It's like
That's me, William Dewey, proprietor at your service.
the most
We're
sort of
investigating the
childish
theft of a
shit
Packard
going.
belonging to the Argentine
That's why I
embassy.
call it a playground.
Are you missing a combination wrench?
I don't know, detective, but I know how we can find out. Follow me.
So the whole narrative got even worse actually tonight. I've sat in the cinema watching a very peculiar movie called Downsize, and I'm sort of looking through. Oh, this was L1. Yeah, so I'm sat there. The trailers
We
are
keep
pretty
all our tools in here.
dreadful. Pretty
No
boring
good.
as
We
well.
need diplomatic plates.
You sure you guys aren't interested in a new car? Huh? Maybe a used car. I have some nice used cars for guys in your wage bracket.
Why don't you give us some alone time, Dewey? Go sell some cars or whatever it is that you do here.
So I'm looking on Twitter and
That's not right.
I can't even remember what the conversation was about, but basically Angry Pepe.
Wrong size.
He said that, oh, I'm not
No.
interested in you anymore. Oh, you're this, you're that, you're the other. And I said, okay then. And I put in, you know, I unfollowed him. And I said, okay then, well, unfollow me. And after that, for about a good, I'd say 45 minutes, he wouldn't stop following me around on Twitter.
Gabriel Delgado.
And he was becoming more and more abusive. And every time he was abusive, I just reported it. Because I'm not going to be bullied by people on Twitter. I don't put up with bullying in my my work life, and I'm certainly not going to put up with it in on the internet. You know, and some of the shit he was saying was really sort of basically, he was just trying to get me angry.
Optimistic, Cole.
You know, that whole sort of, you know, macho bullshit. It doesn't work with me because I've been there. I've seen it loads of times before. The whole current Tonka thing makes me laugh because I've seen this before with, there was a YouTuber quite a while ago now called Fake Sagan, and he did videos that were mainly pwnage. Everything was pwnage. Oh, don't take me seriously, but I'll rip every video people put up to pieces. And, you know, he was a big, tough guy. And, you know, he had no ideas. There was no sort of, I'll beat you with an intelligent argument. It was all the sort of, you know, I'll find out who you are and I'll dox you and all this shit.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. Where can we find Delgado?
I don't know. He sure as hell isn't here.
Let's see. He's been a little bit coy. Let's have a look. I'll go for...
You're lying. You've got him holed up somewhere.
I'm having nothing to do with that kid. You can't prove any different.
Let's see now. Oh.
That kid's temper's like a time bomb. I want nothing more to do with him or you.
A wrench from this dealership was used to strip the wheels from a Packard last night, Mr. Dewey. A couple of Hispanics were seen taking parts.
We've had a spate of thefts ourselves. Comes with the location. Thieving bastards to steal anything the minute your back is turned.
What are you hiding, Dewey? Spill it. You don't want the LAPD getting too interested in this place.
So I hire a few illegals. It's cheaper than hiring returning GIs. They have less attitude. Downside is, they're a little light-fingered.
We'll be keeping an eye on you, Dewey, and spreading the word that you don't like to cooperate with the LAPD.
Right. you know what to do. Yeah, so I've seen all this shit before, and it usually ends up really bad. Because the funny thing is that all these people who were screaming that it was a dox and all that, it wasn't a dox. It's a stage name.
Operator, give me R&I.
Tonka's wrestling name. Which was quite funny as well, because the profile thing on
I need an
Google
address for a Gabriel Delgado.
claimed that he was Samoan, and I'm like, he doesn't look Samoan. I've worked with Samoans, and you know, they're not skinny.
Really ought to take more time over the Packard, Phelps.
So you know, he's either had a massive dietary disorder, or he's not a Samoan. It was quite funny as well. There was a video where he was either wearing some really rubbish fake tan that appeared to make him look yellow, or the other thing it could be is he had a kidney disorder. So, you know, I'm not really that interested in anything to do with the whole thing in the end now. I find it quite boring. It's one of the... I haven't watched the Kumite properly, because some people watch it every day, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you must have no life whatsoever to just watch people yelling and screaming at each other, and internet drama, and song and dances about things that Tonka... See, this is the funniest thing about him.
Like a graph. Vertical
and
axis is Y
how
and
this
horizontal
whole
is X.
he's a victim narrative
clear
is
as
such
mud.
a crock of shit.
Third dimension would be Z. So things would be popping out of the
screams and
screen.
shouts now about...
That's ridiculous. Scare people out of the theater.
Being...
God's name would want that. I don't know. People scoffed at the idea of talkies in color, and look what we have
You
now.
know, I'm not a skeptic. I don't want anything to do with the skeptic community. I don't want anything to do with skepticism. Yeah, he sucked up to loads of members of the skeptic community, especially people like Jeff Holiday, mainly through Failure. Failure seems to be the one who, you know, I've always been a bit about Failure, because sometimes he can appear to be really nice, and then sometimes he can be a complete arsehole. You know, so I can't really be sure what he's doing. It's very much like what I've read about Steve Bannon. You know, the thing where a person's sort of always thinking 5 steps ahead, and people around those people, they're always like watching them, because it's like any minute now they're going to grab a piece of furniture and beat you to death with it. So, you know, I've never been really clear on what the motivation is there. You know, they might just be buddies. It might be something completely innocent.
Okay,
but
let's
a
see
lot
what
of
Gabriel
times,
has to say for himself.
I just hope our archangel hasn't already
Tonka seems to attack women a lot more than men.
What the hell
And
is this guy doing?
if a man is on the stream with him, he usually has about 2 to 3 other people. You know, like sort of cheerleaders and handlers. It's like,
Yeah.
LAPD, ma'am. We're looking for Gabriel Delgado.
Gabriel?
We're from the police. Policia, you understand?
Yes, I understand. Could
you
you come
know,
inside?
I was
What
going
is your
to
name?
Ana Rodriguez.
be on a stream
Is Gabriel
with
Delgado here, Miss
Failure, and it
Rodriguez?
never
No.
came to anything in
What
the
do you
end.
want with Gabriel?
Mainly because
Stay where you are, Miss Rodriguez.
pissed off
We need to
too
take a look
many
around.
of their
But he is not
sort of
here.
scummy
I have told you.
elements.
Check out the surrounds. I'll stay
And
with
then in the
broad.
end, I just you know, that
So how far
you have to
along are
really
you?
go back in time to when the Kumite first started. Well, it wasn't even called the Kumite
So how's it going to
originally.
be when you go into labor?
That was a joke because
You are wrong about Gabriel.
he'd
He will be a good father. Already he works hard to provide for us.
it's a martial arts contest from the Jean-Claude Van Damme
Anna, you should have cleared up.
film. God, what was it called? Bloodsport. Yeah, Bloodsport. It was the Kumite. And well, Carl Reed, who Carl,
He's irrelevant.
I strangely like. I actually think he's one of the most genuine people on that whole Kumite thing. That you know, he's never tried to be nice to me. Not like Angry Pepe tried to be nice to me, and then it was like a patronising niceness that in the end was pretty insufferable. Oh, I can't get her to do anything else. Got nothing else here. I think the bloke's actually hiding somewhere in the house. No, that won't open. Oh, I know. I'll look out on. Hang on. Oh, I know what I've got to look at. You know, it's been about 4 years since I played this, so my memory's a little bit.
Souvenirs are a dumb move.
This doesn't pertain to the case.
Yeah, so you know, I was on. Well, I was
You're
on
in
a few
serious
of
trouble,
his early
Mr.
streams, and his early streams
But Gabriel is not here.
were
I have done
okay.
nothing
You know,
wrong.
they weren't like sort of drunken peasants or goddamn podcast level.
Why
They're
did you
very
steal
sort
the
of
car, Anna?
amateur-y.
The customer
Not a
insulted
lot
him.
happened. Well,
He
not a
has
lot
his
happens
honor,
on
no?
them now. You know, he's not using any sort of major. God, is she angry? Is she lying? I'll try good cop.
His honor, Anna?
He said Dewey's friend tried to make a woman out of him. He no longer respects this man, Dewey. He took the car to show this maricon that he is a man.
Oh.
Tell us the truth, Anna. Has Gabriel been here?
I haven't seen him for at least 3 nights.
Anna, do you want to go to jail? Do you want your baby to be born in jail? He was here.
He comes and goes. I can't control him.
I think he's outside the room. Let's have a look. Let's have a look around. Yeah, so the early Kumite was actually it was fun, you know, and then the nastiness came in. You know, it took its time, but eventually it got there, where Tonka's first major feud I can remember was with a bloke called Ogre, who was like, well, I think he's a troll. You know, he said on tweets before, on other programs before, that he trolls people.
Not much help.
So, you know, I can understand the anger, but trying to watch Tonka
used to us.
just pretty much just losing his temper and yelling like a half-wit.
It would take a smarter man than me to connect that.
And it sort of was pretty cringy to watch. You know, it ended up in a situation where no one was going... You're not going to get anything out of something like that. It's just a ponage video in the end.
Diplomatic license plates.
So, yeah, it ends up being a ponage video thing with everyone just screaming and shouting at each other. And not a clever ponage videos. I remember back in the day, you know, Fake Sagan would do videos where he was trying to be edgy. You know, it being early YouTube, it was very sort of different. There's a lot more of an amateur-y feel to it.
We found a license plate matching our stolen vehicle in the shed. Add in the assortment of parts, and we can make Gabriel for a dozen other thefts. It's time to get serious, Anna.
You must ask these questions of Gabriel. I know nothing of these car parts.
You're lying, Anna. I think you're a willing accomplice in these robberies.
What proof do you have that I stole the cars?
What was that flag?
You come into my house to insult and bully me? I have known many policia like you.
Gabriel wasn't at work. Where can we find him?
He said he would never go back. Gabriel is out driving around in his car.
If you tell us where he is, I will try and bring him in. If we have to track him down ourselves,
So-
it could end very badly for him, Miss Rodriguez.
Yeah, the
He's up in
early
his chivatos.
Kumite
Julian
suddenly
and Enrique.
turned nasty.
They race on the corner of First and
And,
Santa Fe.
you know,
I have
I
pleaded
had
with Gabriel
like
to
a sort of
stop,
jokey contest
not
because
listen.
Carl Reed
As soon as we
had
corner
been
Gabriel, we'll be back
constantly
for you, Anna.
taking the piss
You
out
had
of
your
me in the
chance to
chat.
cooperate.
And we went on the
You know where
show
the kid is. Let's go
together,
stop these clowns and get 'em off
and
the
it was
street.
obvious that he's a troll, but he's actually quite a funny troll. It's just a shame that he can't really channel it. Really, he should be like the bad cop on something like an internet show. He'd be perfect for that. You know, the sort of person who's going to say completely the wrong thing at the wrong time, but be very funny and glib about it. What's this? You're a white guy, right? Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. I've always wanted Mediterranean skin, but sadly no. Oh. Ooh, reverse.
What kind of man leaves his pregnant girlfriend at home while he goes off to
Whoa.
play?
Are you blind?
Oh.
Pregnant girlfriends aren't always a barrel of laughs. Everyone needs to let off a little steam. Some guys wouldn't come back home at all.
Are you talking from experience?
Whoa. Get
Quick as we
away.
shut one of these races down, another one springs up somewhere else. Kids used to steal cars to sell them. Now they just want to wrap them around a lamppost.
It's a
The next
slight
16-year-old
problem
I
with
have to
playing
peel off the
this in black
sidewalk.
and white. You
You're
can't
calling
really see
them up.
what's on the road.
I've had enough of those to last me a lifetime.
Yeah, so me and Carl were joking at each other. At first I was like a bit, you know, is he being nasty? What's this? You're making hateful speech against Mexican, Native American. You're a Nazi, aren't you? No, I'm not a Nazi. Yeah, so at first I thought he was being, really nasty, and then he said something that was so silly that I knew that, he was actually quite a funny troll. But yeah, that show was quite fun, even though I did sort of gags at him for a while afterwards, especially on Twitter. And the next appearance I had was with some, what's this, white privilege. I'm a working class man, so I don't get a lot of white privilege, unfortunately. In the UK, it's 74% white. Disgusting, sir.
Quick! They're getting away!
Phelps, 1247.
Do you know, disgust is actually linked to the brain's area that prevents you from eating rotten flesh.
Stay on Delgado.
Get out of the way.
Getting away.
Very unlike.
We're gonna lose him.
No, I don't have bits falling off of me.
I'm gonna find you!
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So, whoa! Yeah.
Delgado is our boy. Forget the others.
Whoa. Yeah, these cars handle like bloody boats. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why the abusive speech against non-whites? Don't have abusive speech against non-whites. Ooh. Ow! Bloody car won't turn. Bloody American cars. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So,
there's the red Ford. That's Delgado.
there was all this
there.
trolling stuff that I didn't mind at first, but then people started getting nastier and nastier.
Quick, you're getting
and
away!
now I just
Phelps, 1247. Requesting assistance
the
at
whole
First and
Kumite
Santa
thing
Fe.
is like a
Reports of
cesspool,
an illegal street race.
It's just lots of
Stay on
angry
Delgado.
people shouting at each other. The chat is so full of people every time it's on. It's a bit pointless even trying to put anything in the chat.
Delgado is our boy. Forget the others.
It pops off the screen
Gonna lose him.
immediately. It's like trying to put in something on the chat in not the Drunken Peasants doesn't exist anymore, but when it did, you'd have about 5,000 people.
Phelps. Take this guy out.
I have yet to hear you criticise white YouTube creators. Well, I have criticised Andy Walski, but I don't think he's actually a white guy.
Step on it, Phelps. Take him
Supposedly he's
out.
Portuguese, so,
You're gonna die, Gaucho!
I think Portugal was invaded by the Turks, but I'm not sure. I know it was the last country in Europe to give up slavery, so I suppose that's something to say against him. Here's a white YouTuber I don't like. Mundane Matt. There you go. Couldn't get a more white bloke than Mundane Matt. Exactly, hate speech against anyone who isn't white like yourself. I'm detecting a troll here.
Gabriel Delgado, you're under arrest for grand theft auto.
Ah, dear.
Fuck you, puto! You should speak to the maricón. Valdez, I showed him. Now who's a man? I should have burned his fucking car.
Ooh. Actually, if you watch one of my previous videos, I did a whole thing about
You got a foreign
why
dignitary
race
outed as a
realism
fruit and a kitty
is a
raper.
complete crock of
Car
shit.
dealer we're gonna let slide for the kickbacks, and a street
yeah.
punk car thief who sure as hell won't be taking liberties with other people's autos again anytime soon. That Detective Phelps is not a bad
That is
haul.
a half mongrel. This must be
just like that one. That's textbook policing, and we need more of it.
Carl Reed then, because he's the one. Very disappointing, sir. Oh. This is probably Carl Reed trolling me on my own video. It's all right, you know. I don't mind.
You have any plans for weekend Liberty, Jack? My sisters have been working in Los
The
Angeles.
only thing annoying about this
Coming
game is you
down to
can't
visit.
skip these
I'm meeting
bloody
them at the station at
cutscenes.
6. Good for you, Jack.
Because I've seen them about
cute? My
30
sisters
times
hang.
before.
Attention! Final inspection before Liberty.
Oh, damn. Why do you engage in such hate-filled speech, sir?
Good job, Kelso.
I don't. I actually, it's odd. The older I get, the less I'm capable of getting angry. I suppose I can have a rage against the whole of humankind.
Full inspection.
You
And
know,
it better
I
be
do have
exceptional if any of
daydreams
you want
where
liberty
I
this
magic
weekend.
everyone away, and it's only me and all the wonders of the
Kelso,
of
this
wildlife
carbine.
left.
The bore is dirty. No, it isn't. Are you arguing with me, Kelso?
Do what you need to do, Sergeant. You know the bore is immaculate.
Weekend Liberty canceled. 2-day field drill. Clean this rifle.
No.
Do you know the penalty for insubordination, Kelso?
Jack, don't do it.
Forget him, Hank. He doesn't have what it takes.
Are you two finished? Are you going to clean this rifle?
No, Sergeant. Cole is right. I'm going to stop playing games and join a rifle company and fight the real enemy.
Ooh. Yes. I've got to sit down at some point, and I've got lots of pads of. Oh, what's this? I have seen your tweets as well, sir. You're making trouble for others without a right cause, then hate speech as poor cover. Very
All right, gentlemen,
Dissing.
I just got this handed to me. A hit-and-run felony at Ray's Cafe,
Well, that's okay,
208
'cause,
North Los Angeles.
you
Got a
know,
patrolman on site,
if
the coroner's
anyone
on
doesn't
his way.
like
Get down
what
there,
I
see if we can find
say,
any witnesses who can put a make on
there's
the car.
this thing called the terms of
Mounties first
service
stripped off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA
on
wants
Twitter. You know, I was using it earlier
I gave his
when
wife
I
a
was being
tap.
threatened
I said all's fair in
and told a load of nasty lies.
I say we bust in there and find the
And
goddamn evidence.
you know, I kept my cool. I said, you know, if you don't want to talk to me anymore, I'll unfollow you. You unfollow me.
Want another commendation?
Simple as that. But instead, the person decided, oh no, I'll continue to be a jerk and not leave me alone and get more and more threatening. So I just reported all of the
Looks
tweets.
like the DA is going to press charges. And Rodriguez might do time.
I'll speak to the
You
DA.
know,
She suffered enough.
It's something people
I don't
should
know,
remember
Cole.
when they
She's
use
an easy make, and the
certain
DA likes conviction.
things that they think will
I'll
trigger
convince
me.
him to let it go.
Like saying I'm a
How do you
faggot
do
and
that?
things like that, even though I'm
Give him
bisexual.
something better.
Oh, what's this?
Christ
Why
alive!
did you pursue? Why did you not pursue better things and leave others alone? Well, mainly, how can I word this? Mainly a sense of justice, I suppose. You know, people being horribly nasty for extended periods of time, being a bully, going completely unpunished. You know, every dog has its day.
Detectives, over here.
Still, I'm small fry. It's what will happen when someone else goes that one step further.
Walked out of the bar and
because
car hit over there and he ended up here.
I was looking on a cunt stream earlier.
Have you canvassed the
Are
area?
you medicated?
The only one with anything useful to contribute
I
is
wish
the
I
young lady
was
over
at the
there.
moment. I've
She
got
lives above
terrible
the bar,
back problems.
Shannon Perry.
I have
No,
to go to the
it's not a
doctor
stage
soon. I've got a feeling
24
I've
years
probably got a
old, she
tumour
left
in my
Kansas
lower
to follow
back.
the Yellow Brick Road.
Is that
You know.
so?
So
We'll take a
if
formal
I
statement later. Right now we're gonna take a
suddenly
look around.
seem all high as a kite, it's because I'll be taking the marijuana approach to treating cancer.
Phelps? I landed on his face and ended up here. The car must have struck him from behind.
I was actually mentioning that to Bunty King earlier, because that silly cow roaming millennial was saying a usual load of old dog shit about
Addison has life insurance.
marijuana. Actually, it's something I said to that cognitive fault bloke who I couldn't even remember why I was following him. You know, but
We can notify next of kin.
there was this whole thing about, you know, he was saying that, oh, what's this? I hope you do not have a tumour in your back. Well, if I did die of it, then, you know, then I die of it. I don't believe in the afterlife, you know. I've got no children. I doubt the universe would miss me much. Probably upset my sister's kids though. You know, it's one of the few sort of pure joys that I have in my life now. That going and seeing my niece.
What have you got on the
She's
victim?
always happy to see me.
From all reports, he was
Is that
intoxicated
why
at the time of
you
the accident.
create trouble
I'll know how intoxicated
for
once I've done the
yourself?
autopsy.
No,
Looking him
no,
over now,
I
I'd say he
I
died
put
on
that
impact.
down probably to being an
What about the
asshole.
chest wound? Isn't that
But pretty
inconsistent?
much 99.9%
common
of
in
all
auto
the
injuries.
humans on the
Look for a
earth are
car with a prominent
assholes.
foot ornament. Those things are
Unfortunately, the internet attracts assholes like a magnet.
killers. Careful where you're stepping, Phelps. I don't come down to the station house and tap dance on your desk.
Body traveled a good 20 feet.
It's quite a funny line. Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that meanness equates to making good content nowadays. It's the whole edginess thing. You know, a lot of people aren't good at it. Edginess is sort of something that you have to
Never the same.
sort of be very, very sort of.
This blood
You
is a
have
long
to
way from the
live
body.
the character. You
been going
can't
like a bat out of hell.
be just edgy weekends. You know, the best proponent of edginess I've ever seen, who stays completely in character every time, is Devon
The driver
Tracy.
managed to brake before the impact.
And I don't agree with everything Devon Tracy says. You know, I don't believe the sort of racisty stuff, but I do sort of. He makes extremely good videos, and
It's all yours, detective.
He doesn't take shit from anyone. He doesn't alter his the way he acts on screen just for popularity. Oh, the phone's running out of batteries. Oh.
Have a seat.
Thanks, Doctor.
How are you finding
Bugger, it's
working
turned
at the
itself off. I'm getting loads of tweets now. Ugh! I'll have to give it 5 minutes to get a bit of charge.
Can I be honest with you, Doctor?
Oh, my
I would
back.
hope so, Courtney.
I was hoping that the therapy would be more beneficial.
Treatment
My back's so bad now, it hurts when I'm lying down. So, you know...
So many of the patients here are addicts, Doctor.
Because initially the doctor said, oh, it's probably sciatica or a sprain, but it's been hurting for 3 years and it's got gradually worse and worse and worse. Till now I get pains in the front of my hip, as well as the back of my hip, and my lower back, and my tailbone, and my left bum cheek.
I was expecting more, Doctor. I'm sorry.
But, oh, I've got loads of notifications.
Learning to be patient.
Ooh.
How is it possible to keep so many of them on their medications, Doctor? Many of their addictions are illegal.
Oh, many things in life are gray, Courtney. What may on the surface appear to be illegal is actually of benefit to society at large.
Some from Pascal. I've got to do a stream with him at some point because he's actually quite an interesting bloke. I'm not a communist. I was tempted by communism when I was a teenager, but it's just one of those... it's too extreme for me. I'm a social libertarian, basically, because
I'll take the bartender.
I don't like
you work the rest of the room.
Systems where... Oh, what's this? I hope you end your hypocrisy about white privilege. Oh, ha ha ha. Well, actually, if you had a social libertarian system, you wouldn't have...
So this is why everybody comes to raise.
Have a system in place of privilege, because everyone would be living in an egalitarian society. Anything in the bins? Right. What's that? Oh, in there. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Something down there. Or is it nothing? Aha! Nothing. Just a bottle. Yeah, you know, I was sort of... Aha! The murder weapon.
A knife covered in blood.
Could be a steak knife. This is a hit-and-run case, Phelps. Anyone could have thrown away a kitchen knife.
In any case, we'll want tech services to scrub the alleyway before they bag the knife.
Right. Let's go and question the people in the bar. Oh, actually, see, this lady saw.
Miss Perry?
Yes?
I'm Detective Phelps. This is my partner, Detective Bukowski.
Yeah, like I was saying, I don't like extreme points of view. The
Can you tell
extreme politics never works because it usually targets one side of a group. If you've got extreme socialism and Marxism, she looks like she's telling the truth.
Then what happened?
I saw a car hit that poor man and knock him down the street.
What kind of car was it?
A dark red Lincoln Continental.
Oh, yeah. Some more notifications. Yeah, she's telling the truth.
Did you see the license plate?
Only the first 3 letters, I'm afraid.
3C8.
Tell me more about the argument you heard.
Well, there were two voices. A man and a woman. That's all.
Oh, she's doing the eye thing.
Why are you holding out on us, Miss Perry?
I'm sorry. I was hoping to tell my story to the newspapers. I'd like to get my picture in the paper. Trying to find work as an actress, and things are pretty difficult.
Cough it up, sister. We don't have all night.
People arguing? They were husband and wife. I could tell by what she was yelling. Into things. Very embarrassing for the man.
when you've got extreme sides,
Your information has been very helpful.
it usually, you know,
really think so?
I
hope you find
a
that
group
driver
will
and put him
be
away.
targeted and used as a scapegoat. In communist Russia, it was landowners and the rich. In Germany, it was Jews. You know, there are extreme points of view that seek
I'm
to
Detective Phelps of the LAPD.
target.
How can I help, Detective? Your name would be a good start.
A group to put all the blame on.
I run the place when the owner ain't around.
So you know, I
Where is the owner?
I like
stepped
politics
out. Somebody had to
nicely
take
in the
Lorna,
middle.
Mrs. Patterson home.
You know,
What can you tell me about the accident?
Not a lot. It was busy in here, and all I heard was the impact.
So what was he doing outside? It's against licensing regulations to drink on the sidewalk.
Lester and Lorna were having a fight. The owner made him take it outside. It was pretty ugly.
Do you know the victim?
Yeah. Lester Patterson. He's a regular here, or he was.
Not one of your favorite customers?
Lester was special, but not my kind of special.
Was Lester drinking alone?
No. He came here with his wife. She didn't seem too interested in the booze, though.
A witness overheard an argument.
Lester and Lorna. There's nothing like airing your dirty laundry in public, is there?
You know what they were fighting about, Lynch. Stop lying to me.
So now you know what I know? You a mind reader now? I thought not.
Oh.
You want to accuse me of anything else now?
Bugger.
Thanks for your help, Lynch. I'm going to need you to sign a statement with the patrolman.
Sure, no problem.
You get anything out of the regulars?
They weren't giving too much away. They liked watching Lester and Lorna go a few rounds every other day. And Lester was a fan of the love tap.
That's a newspaper. Now where do I go? Oh, the telephone. I wonder if there's a telephone in here. Ooh. Ah, there's a telephone.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need to run a partial license plate, 3 Charles 8. Cross-check possible Lincoln owners. Suspect vehicle is a red Lincoln Continental.
Just a moment, Detective. Only one possible make on that license. Registered to a William Shelton, 738 West Temple Street.
Thank you.
Looks like we caught a break on this one.
What would a part of the... Oh, there it is. Now, I have to remember to reverse the car, because if I drive into the crime scene, it invalidates and I have to start all over fucking again.
How about 5?
Got to go to bed in about half an hour, I think. Bit tired. Oh. Yeah, extreme points of view usually ends up with a whole like well of problems. I actually recently read Michael Wolff's book, The Fire and the Fury, about the Bush White House, and how it's quite funny because a lot of people, not Bush, Trump. A lot of Trump didn't actually want to win the election. He'd had a lot more power than he has now if Hillary Clinton had won the election, because he wanted to create his own version of Fox News and base a complete media conglomerate on top of that. And it sort of completely backfired when he won. And
yes. Hello?
Mrs. Patterson.
Is this about my husband?
We're investigating the incident, ma'am.
I see. Come in, won't you?
And the book speaks about, you know, the first 100 days and what a like complete. It's amazing how it's like history's repeating itself, because the description of how they managed Trump is very much. It reminds me of how in the book Wolf Hall they controlled Henry VIII.
Don't think this is anything.
That that they had to find things that he liked and buddy up with him and work out court proceedings, but do them in a way that wouldn't bore Henry VIII, because he had a tendency, if he
Can you tell me what happened?
Pissed off, to all the people to have their heads chopped off. And the Trump White House is just like that. There's this whole thing where if they've got a memo, they have to talk a load of crap along with the memo about Trump and how wonderful he is, or he just loses interest.
What's that supposed to mean, mister?
There's actually a lot of theories that Trump can't even read. That he gets other people to read things out for him all the time.
It's okay, Lord.
And this is really obvious when he does speeches.
Well, well. Nice to see you're comforting the grieving widow, Mr. Sabo.
All right, wise guy. Do you have any intelligent questions you would like me to answer?
You can confirm Mrs. Patterson's story.
Lester lost at cards. He was kind of hard to control when he lost his temper. He turned without looking and walked right out in front of the car. It wasn't good.
What's your relationship with Mrs. Patterson, Mr. Sabo?
We're friends. Good friends.
You expect me to believe that?
Look, I was filing for divorce. Mental cruelty. Lester could be a mean son of a bitch.
And Lester knew about that?
No, I hadn't told him.
Well, hasn't this worked out well for the two of you? I feel almost bad for busting in on this little rendezvous.
How did the car come to hit Lester?
He walks straight into the path of an oncoming car.
You're lying, Lorna. You pushed him in front of the car.
If you think you can prove that, I suggest you arrest me now. I would have loved to push him under a car many a time, but not this time.
You were arguing in the bar and on the sidewalk?
We were always arguing. So what?
Don't lie to me. Something was different this time.
You're clutching at straws. You married? The arguments are never any different.
We're leaving, Lorna, but this doesn't add up. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
Oh, I screwed that one up. Oh, actually, let's use the phone. Where's the phone gone? Oh, dear. Yes. Getting back in the car.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Any messages?
Just one, Detective, from the coroner. Message reads, Phelps, see me at Central Morgue immediately. Results of the Pattison autopsy.
Thanks, ma'am.
Let's try the Sheltons first. Oh. Yeah, I unfollowed on well, actually I unfollowed a load of people on YouTube. I did a complete purge last week on a really slow, boring day. I just went through all of these channels looking at their content, assessing whether it's improved or whether it's just the same old bullshit from like when I first sort of signed up
That
to it.
son of a bitch right there. William Shelton?
Yes?
It doesn't look good, Shelton. You packing your bags and making a run for it? You know why we're here.
Yes. The accident.
We've got witnesses who can put this car at the scene, not to mention the physical damage. This is open and shut, Shelton.
Oh.
That coward thinks he can run from everything.
Trying to drive a boat on a roller skate here. Oh, God.
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out. Lay into his wheel arches. Come on.
No wonder he killed someone, driving like this. Don't let that asshole get away.
Ah, yeah, you cracker. Yeah, so I did a big purge of YouTube. You know, I was following people who just, they make the most boring shit. Boring, repetitive stuff like Mundane Matt. You know, Mundane Matt just seems to be living in the constant glory of the
right there, Shelton.
days of Ghostbusters.
How does a vehicular manslaughter rap sound, Shelton?
Ghostbusters 2016, and I'm like, you know, that was 2 years ago. You can't judge every bloody
He came out of nowhere.
video or film or whatever.
I've had accidents before.
That's it. We're done here. The DA is gonna love you.
They weren't all my fault. I'm a surveyor. I need my license for my job. There were people around. A woman and a man were standing right next to him. I thought they could get him to a hospital. I'm telling you, it's not my fault.
The guy is dead, Shelton.
You can't be serious.
William Shelton, you're coming downtown. We need to talk about a manslaughter charge.
American activities. It was the anti-communist lot. That horrible McCarthy bloke. It's weird because Ted Cruz looks dead ringer for.
We can put the driver in front of a judge in less than a week.
You'd be making a big mistake.
Run that by me again?
The victim was dead before the car hit him. 2 puncture wounds to the right side of the thorax. Second puncture reached his heart. You're kidding me? Been doing this job 23 years, son. No one's ever laughed at one of my jokes.
He was stabbed to death?
Long, sharp knife. Length of a bayonet.
We found a knife in the alleyway.
Where is it now? Was it bagged?
By Patrolman Kaplan.
Perfect. I'll get you a definite match.
Jesus, we got him. Murder 1. We were right there and they tried to stare us down. Now they'll both get the gas chamber. We have the knife, we have the coroner's report.
I don't
bet we
agree
could roll
with the death
Sabo as a
penalty.
witness. Let's bring her in.
For a start, I don't agree with the death penalty because it's too easy. It's much more, you know, make the person live with that guilt. Give them a nice long sentence from some stew on it, and then eventually when they're released, they'll be completely broken. It also means that if something has gone awry and there's been a mistake, the state hasn't gone and murdered someone on falsy evidence. You know, my view's always been that if policing was at 100% accurate, that would be okay for having a system in place like the death penalty. But there's been too many cases of police tampering with evidence. There was a case in the UK a couple of years ago with a TV presenter called Jill Dando.
You're gonna kill someone!
The police couldn't find a suspect because the current theory was that it was actually Russian assassins linked with drug cartels who bumped her off. But there was a bloke who was a local nutter. Oddly, he looked a little bit like Vadim Nuquist. Yeah, he was arrested by the police on circumstantial evidence, which on a second inspection turned out to be an inaccurate report.
He confirmed your husband's cause of death.
That,
like you to come
I actually
downtown
believe now that the
It wasn't me. It was Leroy's idea. Leroy stabbed him. I had nothing to do with it.
Where is Leroy now?
He's in the bedroom.
You're very good, Lorna.
Put the gun down, Leroy. If you do something stupid now, you don't stand a chance in front of the grand jury.
Nice of you to give me up, sweetheart. All that whispering in my ear telling me how we had to get rid of him, how good it could be, all the money we could claim, all that planning, how to get him into the street, how to make it look like an accident.
For God's sake,
you had
Leroy,
all
shut
the
up.
bases covered, baby.
I have nothing to do
You
with
think
it.
I'm gonna fry for you,
He's a
Lorna?
crazy man. Shoot him. Shoot him, for God's sake.
Oh.
It's too late, Sabo.
That'll backfire.
Sabo, stop or I will shoot. Last chance to surrender, Sabo.
Come on, Flatfoot, let's negotiate.
Put the weapon down now. Put your weapons down and your hands in the air.
You want me to paint the fucking sidewalk? Say goodnight, then.
Oh no! Shit. Let that replays.
We've spoken to the coroner, Mrs. Patterson. He confirmed your husband's cause of death. We'd like you to come downtown and answer some questions.
Oh, I can't
It wasn't
skip
me.
it.
It was Leroy's idea. Leroy stabbed him. I had nothing to do with it.
Where is Leroy now?
He's in the bedroom.
You're very good, Lorna.
Put the gun down, Leroy. If you do something stupid now, you don't stand a chance in front of the grand
Nice of
jury.
you to give me up, sweetheart. All that whispering in my ear telling me how we had to get rid of him, how good it could be, all the money we could claim, all that planning, how to get him into the street, how to make it look like an accident.
For God's sake,
you had
Leroy,
all
shut
the
up.
bases covered, baby.
I have nothing to do
You
with
think
it.
I'm gonna fry for you,
He's a
Lorna?
crazy man. Shoot him. Shoot him, for God's sake.
It's too late, Sabo.
Interestingly, I've met a girl online who I'm hoping to be seeing soon. She's
Sabo, stop or I will shoot.
Polish or something, but yeah, no, Romanian. That's it. And yeah, she lives in Hastings, which is a really nice city. She didn't know actually a lot about Hastings, and
Last
sort of
chance to surrender,
schooling her on
Sabo.
it because you know, it is one of the most important places in the whole history of the Normans and Anglo-Saxons. The
Are we gonna make a bargain or what?
Saxons were completely
How long do you think you can hold
defeated by
out?
the Normans, and it's what makes me laugh about
Fucking asked for.
the whole race realism shit. Seems to go on and on, thinking that
spooked, Phelps.
whiteness
I thought you'd been under fire before.
is
Never gets
like
any easier, Bukowski.
an individual thing, that a whole group of people are all the same, and I'm like, you couldn't get two groups more unlike each other than the ancient Britons and the Saxons. The ancient Britons are all pagans, and the Saxons were Germanic tribesmen who
So, I
had,
give you a hit and run.
picked
You
up
bring me back fraud, conspiracy, and
Christianity.
first-degree murder. This is how a good detective operates, Phelps. You take nothing at face value. You keep digging and asking questions until you get to the truth. You got some sharp elbows on you, detective. I like that. Keep up the good work.
Well, I think I'm going to end my stream here because I'm a bit now. You know, problem having this back pain is it makes it hard to sleep, and I feel fatigued the next day. I keep having to have naps every couple of hours. Anyway, let's quit. Oh. Come on. I'll go in and end the stream. Well, I'll see you later. Hopefully I'll be doing another Star Trek stream actually, because I quite enjoy Star Trek Online. See you later.